All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cage Fury 131. You've been hearing me talk about it for weeks, months even, rightfully so. It's a great card. And a newer addition to the card, Mark Gray. Mark, my man, how we doing? Welcome back to
How we
Cage Fury.
doing? How we doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Excited to talk to you. We've been talking for a while now, and I've been wondering, why'd you leave Cage Fury? Now you're back. So what brought you back to the great promotion?
I was just looking for a fight. I was supposed to fight Ring of Combat in March. Guy pulled out, so I was just looking for a quick turnaround. Um, and just happy to get back in that CFFC cage.
I feel like you're one of those fighters who on the regional scene, you always have a fight booked and week of or close to it. Your opponent's like, never mind. Like, how does that feel, dude? You deal with that fairly often. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, it happened the last two times, and then one other time as well. I mean, it sucks, but I think it's part of the journey. Unfortunately, in this, I don't think there's any repercussions for doing that stuff in regional MMA. So it's gonna happen, and you just deal with it and you keep going. It's part of the journey, and it's just part of getting better. You know,
A lot
sometimes
of
you're those little things, but you just keep going.
a lot of people say there's hardly a repercussion for that in like UFC, and it's like
It's
it
great.
sucks, man. It sucks because weight missing or late. It's nuts. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things you guys have to deal with. But luckily, we got a scrap. And before we talk about you guys, I did mention the press conference and this card in general, incredible. Is there a fight you're excited for aside from your own?
Yeah, I'm excited to see CJ Lafragola do his thing out there. My teammate, always down to see him get out there and compete. So it's gonna be great to watch him as well.
Yeah, CJ's the man. Love you wrestlers from Philly, New Jersey. You guys are some badass dudes. And fighting in New Jersey at the Hard Rock, like, you going to be selling some tickets? How many people are coming to support?
I got on it late, but I got about 60, 70 people coming. Stuff. It's not bad.
And then, like, this was kind of short notice, right? Like,
Yeah, I would say let's see, probably three weeks, 3.5 weeks. So pretty short notice, I'd say.
but does that even really affect you? Because you're always constantly training. Like, is there a difference between fight camp and just regular camp? Or are you always in fight camp?
Yeah, I'm kind of always just. It's like I'm always training. It's just a mentality that switches a little bit as soon as you sign a contract. But you always should be doing 2, 3 day workouts. If you want to try to be the best or reach the highest level you can be. Why are you gonna do certain things in camp, certain things out of camp? If your body's feeling good, you should be going hitting 2, 3 a day if you can. That's kind of how I see it, how I've always just trained.
And then, I mean, it's smart, especially I think regional guys with great records like yourself who are right on the cusp. I think you guys need to stay ready because that short notice call can come
Absolutely.
anytime. And you got opponents pulling out. It's just stay ready, bro. You know how it
Gotta
is.
be
And
ready. Yeah.
tell me about camp, man. I know you're at Catones. I know you travel a little bit elsewhere. I see you work with Frankie Edgar, Ryan Cafaro, like elite squad. So how's training been?
Oh, it's great. Like you say, having I've been having Capaldo come in as well, and Ryan, and then hitting Frankie, and going to Ricardo's. It's kind of like my spots: Ricardo's, TKO with Cafaro, and then at Nick's. That's kind of those three spots. Camp is going real well. I got my last spar on Thursday. Feeling great. Weight's great. Everything's good to go, ready to rock.
And Vilson, man, Vilson's he's got to fascinates me because he's very talented, but he shoots himself in the foot way too often on the scale. So before I even ask you about his skill, are you concerned about the weight at all? Like, is it possible he doesn't make weight?
I mean, I already got something in my head. We're gonna reach out and kind of see where he's at Wednesday night, and I'm gonna adjust to that. No matter what, the fight's gonna happen. So in my head, I'm going no matter what. We're just gonna adjust to him. Hopefully, he makes it. But I've learned to just take that out of it, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to make the fight happen nowadays. I'm done, with fights being canceled,
Yeah.
people missing weight. So I'm kind of just gonna make it happen regardless if I gotta, hold at 140 or make the 35 or 36. It's going to be how, where he's at. If he's able to make it, great. If not, I'll adjust accordingly because I'm just done and not compete. I'm done, tired of not competing, doing all the right things and it's just not happening. So, I got to get to the cage, and if this how it goes, then it is what it is.
So, I mean, as much as I love my man Kyle Dawkins and the Dawkins brothers and over there, Martinez, I was interviewing Sean Fallon, his past opponent, and Kyle took 2 attempts to make weight. So I asked Sean, I was like, yo, what are you thinking when like Kyle's still trying to make weight? Like, are you nervous? He's like, nervous. Dude, I love it. I'm in the back eating. And worst case scenario is we go a catch weight and I get extra money from his purse. So, like, do you agree with that sentiment too?
For sure, absolutely, absolutely. He's busting his ass to make weight while you get to start your rehydration, and then like Sean said, you get a bit of his purse. So it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, man, for sure. And Vilson, former CFFC champion, what are your thoughts on his skill in this matchup?
Oh, he's tough for sure. He's definitely powerful. He's got a wrestling background. Just gotta be completely present for 15 minutes and be ready for a good scrap. And that's excites me.
Do you see this fight being one of those that does go to the scorecards after like a long war, or you think you're finding a finish early?
I'm gonna try to find the finish. That's the goal. That's what I need nowadays. To separate me. The good record's great, but UFC wants finishes, so I got to do what I can to get the finish. And I'm gonna been working super hard to find it. So that's what I'm going in for.
In an interview with you, it's impossible to avoid asking about UFC and the what's next, just because you're a great fighter who's undefeated, who keeps making noise constantly, and now you have another high caliber fight to impress more people. So like, do you have any goals in mind in terms of like time frame when you'd like to be there? I know Contender Series is coming up this August.
I would,
Newark card, you know?
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I would love to. I'm going to be ready for the Newark card for sure. If I get the job done this upcoming weekend, that my weight's going to be down for that June 1st card, and I'm just going to keep it within striking distance. And if anyone, I mean, they already know. I was reached out last week about a short notice, but kind of fell through. But they know I'll take a fight on 3 days' notice. So
So you're at the top of their list of people to hit up, it seems.
yeah,
That's awesome, man. Oh man, that would be awesome to get you on that Newark card short
I would love
notice.
that, to be honest. God willing, but I gotta take care of business this next weekend. So that's the only thing on my mind right now.
Totally, man. And then I got one more question about the future, and then we can go back to the current fight. But a win here, even if UFC doesn't call you for Newark, do you wait for Contender Series? Do you get a Cage Fury title in the meantime? Like, what are your thoughts on this year? Like, any idea?
Yeah, I'd probably go for the Cage Fury title. I got a 2 fight contract, so I'm you like me, I like to compete and stay active. So, you know, if it's another fight in Cage Fury, and then if I got to do contender, or if I get the call, I'm just trying to challenge myself and compete. That's all. That's why I'm doing this. It's not just a hobby. So the more I can compete, the more I can test myself, find where my holes are, and just keep building. That's kind of what it is.
Oh,
Good.
totally, man. You're just someone who likes to fight, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm work-
Helps that it pays the bills. Now is this? Do you work? Are you a full-time fighter? Do you have a job on the side?
No, I get privates and I help. Well, I'm opening my own wrestling academy, but yeah, I train in a day. My wife's got a great job as well, so we're able to take care of what we got to do while I can train during the day, get privates, and run my practices at night.
That's
So
awesome, man. So combat
very,
sports
very
is
grateful.
income.
Yeah, very grateful and lucky for sure.
And I mean, that's like, I guess, a newer thing in 2024, maybe as of like 2014. Like, but the past 10 years, people can really make a living in MMA in any asset, like, or aspect in a bunch of different ways, like gym ownership, commentating. I cover the sport. You do private lessons. So, like, has that transition to being able to work on this full time, like, helped you improve your skill and focus on everything?
I think so. I think so, 100%. Just because you know the people that aren't in that situation, they're doing that 8 to 5, and then they're putting in 4 hours after that.
Yeah.
Which, it just I feel like it's tough. It's tough to do, but a lot of people don't. They have to do that, and that's completely understandable. And it's respectable. But I've been grateful that I can train like I said, so I can get 3 workouts in. But you know it's essentially that 8 to 4. But I'm at 4 now. I'm going to train little kids. Training kids to get better. Can give my body a little bit of relaxation and not just have to go and grind after I've been grinding for an 8 hour work day. So I think it definitely helps. I think mentally as well as building skills. You can take time throughout your day, watch film, do whatever you got to do. I think it's helpful.
Is that something you like, I guess, anticipate on doing forever, kind of like staying involved in the world of combat sports?
Yeah, I think so. I worked as a project manager before this. Graduated from Cornell, and I feel like this is me. Being in a combat sports world. Whether it's running, owning a gym, just being in combat sports is kind of who I am, and I've been surrounded my whole life with it. So, going away from it, I don't know. I feel like this is where I belong. So, I mean, it makes me happy. So that's what I enjoy doing.
You want to know what gives that away about you?
What?
Your ears.
Here.
Yo, you see, hold on. You see that?
Oh, there you go. Look at you,
We're getting there, bro.
my man.
And my last question, Mark. Tell me about this. You're opening up a wrestling academy, you said?
Yeah, yeah. April 16th out of Lacey Township High School,
Oh,
called
word.
Compete Wrestling Academy. So it's going to be freestyle Greco based till July. Because obviously the folk style season's over, but after that, August to March, going to be folk style based, and just trying to give my knowledge. I've been able to be around some of the best wrestling coaches, I think in the world. So I picked up a lot throughout the years and just constantly studying and want to give back, as much as I can.
That's awesome,
Uh,
man. And
for,
I'll
for,
sorry, I cut you off again. Finish your sentence.
yeah.
I was gonna say I'll link all your social media stuff below so everybody can go follow that and check you guys out. But Mark, before I get you out of here, man, one, thank you again for the time. Appreciate it, dude. And two, anything you'd like to say to all your fans? If so, the mic is yours.
No, just thank you for the support. Tune in on Friday. It's going to be one of the best Cage Fury cards I think ever. So, it's going to be great. And just thank you all for the support. I appreciate it.
Cage Fury 120 was the one before. I was like, yo, it's the best card ever. But Cage Fury 131 coming up, dude, top to bottom, insane, insane card. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check it out April 12th, UFC Fight Pass, or more preferably, come on down to AC. Let's have a good time. But Mark Gray, kick some ass, man. I'll catch you at weigh-ins, and thank you again.
But I appreciate you.